Hello again everyone and welcome back to my allotment. I must apologise because I do sound a little bit croaky. I've had a bit of a cough, bit of a cold these last few days, so I don't sound great, but hopefully you guys can still understand me. I'm coming down to the plot a couple of days after we had Storm Amy, which caused a lot of damaging winds for the northern part of the UK, especially Scotland. Thankfully though, for us in the northwest of England, we didn't really suffer as much with the winds because they weren't quite as strong. But with that being said, the allotment is still a mess, so we're just going to have a look at the state of things, see if there's any damage to the plot. Thankfully though, we are sheltered by these trees, but I'm expecting there to be a lot of branches and stuff everywhere, and I need to make sure that none of them branches have smashed the greenhouses. And I've also got some really exciting news to share with you as well. I can't wait to share this with you. Some really exciting developments coming on the new plot soon. So let's just have a look around the plot and see if there's any damage, and then I'll share the exciting news. So obviously everything's starting to die back and look a bit tired now, but because we have these trees up here, which do provide a lot of shelter, they don't provide too much shade, you know, we still get a good bit of sun in the summertime. They do drop a lot of leaves and a lot of branches around everywhere. Like this thing came down onto my plot. So yeah, there's leaves all over the place. That's the only thing I don't really like about autumn. It gets really messy. Yeah. And I think, let's just have a look. The greenhouse is covered in leaves. And we have to clean those off, clear the guttering so that we can collect water through the winter. Doesn't look like there's any smashed glass though. The outside polytunnel cover seems to be okay. There's no damage on here that I can see. No, looks all right. Inside, the peppers are still going for it. I've picked quite a few green ones recently. And when we've eaten those, then we'll start eating the 22 litres of frozen peppers. They're in the freezer. That should definitely be enough for the whole winter. That's got a pane missing already. Still need to replace that. To be honest with you, I've not put any glass in here. And to be honest, it doesn't make much difference. I've found that it just increases the ventilation. Just makes ventilation better in here. Cucumbers grew really well in there this year without any problems. And there's a couple of panes of glass missing. Much to my surprise, the 15-foot pole that has the Reolink camera on the top is still standing, even after we had 60-mile-an-hour winds. If it can survive that, it should be here the entire winter. It does shake about a bit, you know, it's got some give in it, but I mean, that's not moving anywhere. It's concreted 3 foot into the ground, and then there's also another one there that's concreted into the ground too. So yeah, I think, yeah, we don't get many storms stronger than 60 mile an hour, very rarely. So I think, you know, if it can survive that, we should be all right, really. Looks like there's been no damage from the wind. It's just all these leaves. I did put some of this mesh in here to protect, to stop the guttering from getting clogged up. And I think it is helping a bit. The water butts are full anyway. I'm probably gonna have to make some more. I think daisy chain some more up. Yeah, it looks like there's just branches everywhere. It's just a bit messy. So the other day I moved the polytunnel. Well, I took the cover off and moved the polytunnel, the out sunny polytunnel, over there because I'm going to turn it into a fruit cage. That is a plan for the winter, but we've got another project which I'm going to be doing over the winter as well. A very big project which I'm super excited about. I'm struggling to contain my excitement. I feel like a big kid, struggling to keep my excitement contained. So on the new plot, we're going to be getting a polytunnel, a first tunnels polytunnel. They're going to be coming in about a month's time, around the middle of November, to build a 14-foot by 25-foot polytunnel here. Now, there was membrane on here, which I've pulled back to obviously clear the area and leave a blank canvas for them to build on. And I've also levelled it as well. It's pretty much level. We did have a lot of heavy rain over the last few days, and that has made it a bit wet. The reason why I'm digging here is because there's a lot of plastic that's buried under here, which I've pulled out here. Because when the anchor plates are going to be put in the ground, that's going to be a big problem, because we're not going to be able to stick them in there. So I've been trying to remove all the plastic from here, and I think we've removed most of it. But there's also a lot of bindweed, and I mean a lot, a ridiculous amount of it. It's just everywhere. I actually removed this the other day, massive pile of bindweed. And yeah, the soil is really badly contaminated with all sorts. There's plant labels everywhere, there's glass, there's loads and loads of zip ties. There's loads of like this woven fabric stuff everywhere, like the strings everywhere. Just loads of random bits of plastic everywhere in here. There's all sorts. Like, it's really bad. Everywhere I dig on here, it's just riddled with plastic and glass and stones and all sorts. Like here, there's just loads and loads of blue plastic in here. So there's a few different options here that I could do, and I want your suggestions, because I'm not really too sure what to do. When the polytunnel is built, do I just cover it in membrane and then grow in buckets, so I'm not growing anything in the ground? Or do I put membrane down and then build raised beds on top, so I'm not going into this ground? Problem with that is it's very expensive. I'm going to have to get the wood and all the materials to fill it up, and it's going to be a lot. That's like, I could build 3 beds, one on either side and then one in the middle, but they're still going to be really big beds, and they're going to require a lot of material to build them and fill them up. The other option, which is a bit more cost effective but much more difficult, is sieving the soil. Because to be honest with you, the soil isn't too bad. It's not terrible. It's a reasonable quality. It's just all of the rubbish that's inside of it. That is the issue. So what I'm thinking is, when the polytunnel is here, just leaving it for a bit to let the soil dry out, because it's quite wet on this side because of that plastic that was underneath it. It wasn't letting the water drain through. So all this soil here is saturated because we had that damp-proof membrane there, which is a bit of a pain. But yeah, I could let the polytunnel sit on here, let the soil inside of it dry out for a few weeks, and then I could try digging out a trench here where the bed's going to be, a trench here as well, and a trench on this side. Pile all the soil up in the middle, let it dry out even more so it can be sieved. And I'm thinking of constructing a trommel sieve, like a rotating barrel with chicken wire, which is really simple to make and really cheap as well. All I need is some bicycle rims, some chicken wire, which I have, a bit of wood, some wheels, like utility wheels, and I can have it powered with my drill. So that is my plan there, because if I were to use them little riddles, like handheld sieves, we're going to be here all year doing it. It's just going to take far too long. So do I do that? Do I dig the soil out a couple of feet and then sieve it back in and then maybe raise them slightly by 6 inches? You know, I could use just one plank of wood to raise it slightly. And to be honest, I'm not going to need much material to raise it slightly. You know, I could use just a bit of compost, a bit of hugel culture as well. I could use that, might work as well. But yeah, there's 3 options. I'm going more towards the final option where I sieve it. Although it's a lot of work, it's just more cost effective, and you know, I'll need like 20 tons of soil to make raised beds that are 12 inches deep here. So you know, that's not very cost effective. How much is it going to cost to buy 20 tons of soil? Even if I did hugel culture, I'm still going to need a good few tons of soil, and then all the wood as well is going to cost hundreds. So yeah, like there's just, like, look at all this. There's loads of glass in there. We don't want that. But when it's sieved, it should be all right. If I sieve it down to, you know, what's that, 10 mil? Or I could sort of overlay them slightly so that they're even finer. The problem with that is it's probably not going to let much material through, especially if it's wet. So it will have to be really dry. But I think 10 mil, it should be all right. I've got loads of this chicken wire. I've got like a big roll of it, so that should be fine. I've also done this with the strawberry cage. I've just cut it in half and stuck them against this fence here, and it works really well. I'll have to stick a bit of netting over the top next year, but this works really well. It makes good use of this space as well. You know, this was massive when it was on here. It was taking up a lot of room, and now it just sits nice and cosy, nice and comfortably over here.
You ant!
Oh, there's lots of ants.
Yeah.
I'll pull that carrot up. It. Wow, you got 2.
Yeah.
Wow, look at the carrot.
Daddy, the carrot.
Wow.
Smell it. What's it smell like? Oh, yummy. Clean it. We need to clean it, don't we?
Need to clean it. So yeah, that is what's going on the new plot going into the autumn. It should be around the middle of November when this gets put here, so we've got about a month to make sure we're ready for it. To be honest, I just need to pull out a bit more plastic. I think there's a bit more of that damp-proof membrane under there, which is going to be a problem when they try and dig holes. If it's still there, it can cause problems. I'll make sure the area is marked out, 14 foot by 25 foot. I wanted that width so I can stick beds in the middle as well, rather than just have them on either side. And yeah, I think I'm going to sieve the soil and then just have beds that are slightly raised off the ground, I think. But let me know what you think. Do you think it's safe for me to sieve this soil, or is there a risk with microplastics? I mean, most of the plastic in there is big. It's big pieces that will, you know, if I sieve it, it won't go through the holes. So I should be able to sieve this out. It just means I'm gonna have to dry the soil out first. So yeah, exciting stuff coming on the new plot in the next month. So stay tuned over the coming weeks and months for lots and lots of updates on the new plot. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon, and you'll never miss whenever I release all these updates every single week usually. So that's all for now, guys. Just a quick one today. I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe and happy gardening.